right? So you have this cool idea, you have this cool product, you have this cool thing, but you shy away from actually taking it out. I've always wanted to take a journey less traveled, a narrow journey where not a lot of people travel into.
Come on.
And I don't want to conform to the world. I wanted to be the thought leader. I don't conform to society. I don't conform to what people say. But yet at the same time, I still felt trapped into it. Understand that, because I felt like I was alone. I've always felt like I was alone. Don't sit down and understand what's here, what's in this moment. What can I do right now? What can I change right now? How can I be a better person right now? I've made $1 million, but can you keep that $1 million? I've made a 10 rand, but can you multiply that 10? Like, it's literally about multiplying, and because we're here to multiply in this life, we're here to create and do the hard things. Some of us, we don't want to do the hard things. I always have to remind myself, do the hard things. Youth goes by quick to a point where, like, you need to wake up every morning and devour something. You need to give something. So you don't get what you deserve, but you actually get what you think you deserve, because, wow, I actually went through all this for this. Wow, I can do it again. Let's do it again.
Great. Excited. So today, combination between phrase. Yeah.
I'll go with you. The things that
Yeah, definitely. Welcome everybody. I'm very, very excited today. I managed to surprise you guys. I always come up with surprises, but this just leveled it up. I have a combination of beauty and brains, and you guys are in for a ride. I managed to get the best of the best. Le creme de la creme. So, in my attempt not to butcher a name, Refentse Moseki.
That's correct.
How you doing?
So well. I am very, very well. I'm actually quite too humble to, guys, don't mind me. I'm actually so humbled, so blessed to be on here. Like, flattery does get you everywhere, by the way. You know, and when you said that you actually want to sit down with me and have an interview, I was like, what? Wow. You actually want to sit down and have an interview with me?
Yes.
I was like, wow. I was blown away, by the way. And I actually checked out your work. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. What you're doing is incredible, my guy. I saw your work. I saw your work ethic. I saw everything, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm just so excited. I'm really excited to be on here. I can't even, like, I'm fumbling my words, but like, I'm so excited to be on here. It's amazing.
Why not you?
Why not me?
Yeah, why not you?
So I really consider myself as this humble person. Like, my dad always tells me that one thing about you, you carry so much humility. I feel like no matter where I'm at in life, no matter where I'm going, no matter how special I think I am, I do think I'm a very special person. I think you have to consider yourself very special to, like, to get where you actually want to get to. Like, I feel like a lot of successful people had this ultimate persona of that I'm a very special person. And I do consider myself as that person. However, I just feel like that comes with so much baggage as well, because then you get ego trips along the way. So I humble myself a lot. So hence, when you just asked me, like, why not me? I was like, because I'm so humble. I consider myself as this humble person. Yes, I'm not up there. I haven't really made it. And, but currently, if I'm talking about the now, where I'm at currently at the moment, I'm just so humble and just so delighted. So when you say, why not me? Why me, though? Question is, why me?
Yeah. So for those that don't know you,
Mhm.
who are about to know you, how would you best describe yourself?
Wow, what a great question. So I am such an outgoing person. Like, guys, I heard this quote once, that don't take life too seriously. You're just a monkey with a plan. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, yes, you're just a monkey with a plan. Don't take life too seriously. I would best describe myself as literally a thought-provoking human being. Like, I do not want to be an influencer. I do not want to be famous. Like, okay, cool. It comes with it. But I mainly just want to be a thought leader, because I strongly believe that you are what you think. And I've lived that. I've lived that you become what you think. And, you know, and I've carried that. I've carried with that. So I would love to consider myself and describe myself as a thought leader, like you said in the beginning, before that, you just love the way I think. I also really love the way I think sometimes. Yes, sometimes your mind gets you into a gutter. It gets you, scrambled, and it gets you into a dark place where you don't want to be in. But I strongly believe in that, I really want to venture into becoming and being this thought-provoking person and a thought leader, basically. So, yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Rumor has it. Don't tell me where.
Rumor has it, what?
That you have had more than 5 jobs.
Guys,
Wait.
yes.
Did you get 5 or more 5?
I got 5 from one of them. I'm kidding. I got 5 from 2. So I've always been curious about life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't consider myself as somebody that has any special talents, but I do consider myself as somebody that is outrageously and, crazily curious about every aspect of life and everything about life. So I've always been curious about the idea of money. Money has always, since I was young, I've always been like, what can I do today to make this money? So always been about money. You get people that they don't really want to be millionaires. They don't really want to be billionaires. That's not their goals and aspirations in life. But that's one of my biggest goals. I genuinely want to become a multi-millionaire, and I believe it. And I believe it so much that sometimes I believe I already have it. Like, it's already in me. Like, I believe that I was already born a millionaire. It's just for me to go out there. Like, God has already given me these gifts, given me these talents. There's no ways that God is going to give you these dreams and goals on becoming a millionaire and becoming this crazy person and, this curious person, like I said, and he doesn't actually give you those tools to actually go after them. So the question you asked was like the 5 jobs you rumor has it. So like I said, it's always been about the money, money on my mind. But then actually along the way, money can also be a tool of distraction as well. And a lot of people don't get that. Yes. I heard this quote saying that, those who say money doesn't buy you happiness, they haven't made enough money to give away.
Wow.
So I was like, makes sense. Because I always had this thing of like, money, it's all about the money. But at the same time, you still feel like it doesn't give you that happiness. So you end up squandering it. You end up getting fired from jobs. You end up not even learning about it because it's coming and, it's like, you know what? I don't really care about this. And you end up squandering your money. And so I got into these jobs with a perspective of just money. It cannot always be about money. There's something, it has to be higher than that.
Yeah.
Money is just basically a byproduct of the value you create, right? And what the knowledge you have. So I always tell people, like, the reason why you basically not where you're currently at right now when it comes financially, I don't think you have that much knowledge yet to get to where you're at.
Wow.
So, to get to the money goal that you have for yourself. So it was always about the money. And I thought to myself, okay, the reason why I'm actually going from job to job, getting fired and everything, I'm born to be an entrepreneur, obviously, right? I knew that. I knew that while entering and having a boss. I knew that I'm an entrepreneur, but I was like, you know what? I want money and I want money right now. And entrepreneurship is a journey.
Is that why you dropped out of varsity?
I never gave up on knowledge and education. I always tell people that varsity gave up on me. I didn't give up on it, but like the varsity journey was actually one of the biggest decisions I've ever made, within myself personally, because, it came from a point where like, what am I doing it for? You know, and this corny quote that they say that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. As corny as it sounds, it's true. I'm not saying that it's not true, but at the end of the day, what is the destination? So I said one day and I asked myself, what is the destination, Refentse? Yes, you're in varsity right now, but what is your destination? Your destination is to become a business owner that's going to provide so much value, that's going to give out to the world, and that's going to pour their heart out and actually change people's lives.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but are you doing that? Are you working towards that? Yes, it's about the journey, but your journey right now doesn't match your destination. So I had to, and a lot of people don't understand that if your journey doesn't match with your destination, you have to change the destination, right? And you have to shift the journey, because sometimes you go 10 steps forward and you realize that this is not the journey that you're supposed to be in, and you have to take another journey. And I've always wanted to take a journey less traveled, a narrow journey where not a lot of people travel into.
Come on.
And I don't want to conform to the world. I wanted to be the thought leader. I don't conform to society. I don't conform to what people say. But yet at the same time, I still felt trapped into it. I still felt that I was in varsity because of people's pleasing. So I've always had this thing of kind of like pleasing my dad. And I love my dad, by the way. He's just also...
Yeah.
But I always had this thing of kind of pleasing him and kind of putting a smile on his face. So I was like, I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to go to varsity. I'm going to do whatever. And I got there and I was like, I'm not happy. And I've always been about like, do what makes you happy. A lot of my friends know that that's one thing I stand on, like, do whatever makes you happy. Like being on this podcast and talking to you right now, this is what gets my heart pumping. And it's amazing how you can just sit down with somebody and talk to people and you kind of change the perspective of life, and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize that your story or your testimony that God has actually put you through can actually change someone else's life. So, yeah.
Wow. It's funny that you say you took the road less traveled. My favorite quote says, two roads diverged into the woods. Fortunately for me, I took the one less traveled. So my question for you is, what does the journey look like for you right now? The journey that you took, the road.
Obviously, sometimes the journey looks like, don't mind my language right now, but sometimes you're gonna have to eat shit. Sometimes, sometimes you're gonna get life slapping you from left, right, and center. It's not a perfect journey. It can never be a perfect journey. It can never be a journey where it's like, I made it and that's it. Close your book, There's different chapters to your journey, and some chapters can go a long way. And you ask God, why me? Why this pressure? Why so much pressure on me of having a business and and building? There's so many things that I want to do, and you feel sort of sometimes it's a burden. That the journey is so much of a burden that you feel like giving up. Sometimes you feel like, am I actually? Why am I doing this? And why me? But then I always tell myself that the pressure is a privilege. I think right now in the journey that I'm in, I'm actually experiencing so much pressure. Because a lot of people don't understand that being an entrepreneur and actually having a business and owning a business can be so, how can I put it? It's an up and down cycle. It's a shaky road where there's some days you don't even understand how you're gonna make it. Like, how are you gonna make it? How am I gonna do this? I've got this dreams, I've got this vision, I've got these plans, But right now, it's not tangible. I don't see it materializing. I don't see it. All I know is that it's in my head. But then again, you need to go back that you are what you think. So I think the journey right now, it's kind of shaky. But that's when you know it's real because um I heard this quote saying that if it's easy, then it's sleazy, you know, and do the hard things. Some of us, we don't want to do the hard things. I always have to remind this myself, do the hard things, like get your shit together, like do the hard things, do the boring work because it's not always going to be fun and about the money and about, you know, blowing it all, and it's gonna be crooked to actually get there. It's challenging.
Yeah.
It's extremely challenging. But once you get there, then you realize that wow, I actually went through all this for this. Wow, I can do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. You keep doing it and you keep doing it because it's not about like arriving there. It's about like, can you stay there?
Come on.
You know, it's about like I've made $1 million, but can you keep that $1 million? I've made a 10 rand, but can you multiply that 10? Like it's literally about multiplying, and because we're here to multiply in this life, we're here to create, and you can never stop creating. Like right now, like you on to your next podcast, you on to the next thing. I'm on to the next thing. And we're always on to the next thing, and we don't get to realize that the moment right now is yet to just be here and realize where you at the moment. And that was a good question, by the way.
Thank you. Correct me if I'm wrong, that you used to or still do make 200 calls a day.
So I used to, I love sales, right? A lot of people, I love to call myself, ultimate sales machine sometimes. I don't know. But I love closing deals. I love being in front of people, persuasion. I love persuasions. I love knowing that I can actually take someone's mind and kind of shift it around in a way. Obviously not change it, but change their perspective of how they see things. So I've always loved the tactic and the feeling that you get when you're actually selling something to somebody. It's challenging and it's so uncomfortable. And I always tell myself that when I get a kid, I'm putting him or her on a dialer, and they're making 200 calls per day, and they're meeting and they're talking to strangers each and every day, because that it makes you so uncomfortable, right? It makes you so uncomfortable. And actually, there's no growth without being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, I'm going to be comfortable and I'm going to make it. You won't. You will not make it. Like, discomfort comes with so much growth, and I've always chased after that. I always wanted to be uncomfortable. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to get a job in sales. I want to work in sales. And, I literally made I actually outperformed the number of calls everybody was making, actually. Wow. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make 200, 300 calls per day, and I'm going to get this. And it was funny how I was constantly failing. Funny, I always tell people that I've been through so much failures. I still am going through so much failures. But these failures have actually made me the person I am. Actually, thank God for those failures. Actually, thank God for dropping out of varsity and getting those jobs. Even though some people may say that that's the worst decisions you've ever made. You would have been far by now or whatever. I don't know. Maybe this is the path that God has actually called me to do. And what greater things are yet to come. So I did that for a very long time. But right now, I focus more on, and then I shift my perspective. I'm like, I'm not gonna, because the world is changing, guys. Like the things that we did 2 years, 3 years, 5 years ago, it's ongoingly changing, and technology just keeps on getting better. The way we do things just keeps on getting better. So I'm like, I want to change the way I do things, because, I mean, if the world is changing, why can't we constantly be changing as well as human beings? You cannot stay stagnant, same place, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So I'm like, I'm not going to keep on making 200 calls every single day for another person. Why not create my own thing, create my own offer, create my own script, create my own thing? And I went to making like about 200 cold calls every single day to about just 10, 15 calls and closing more deals than I was closing calling 200 people,
Wow.
which I took. I just took it into my own hands. I took my own strategy because a lot of people want to be what, like, these people, what a lot of people say that, oh, I need an accountability partner. I need a boss to tell me what to do and everything. But we don't understand that actually can take you backwards, the higher accountability you have to put on yourself, I feel like the higher chances of success you will get because the accountability is on you. It's on you to wake up. It's on you to make that offer. It's on you to make those calls. It's on you to close those deals. It's on you to make sure that you provide results for your clients. It's all on you. Nobody is there telling you, do this, do that. And that's when you experience the immense success because the accountability is in your hands. Basically, your life is in your hands. It's not in your parents' hands. And we expect our parents as well and our bosses and our teachers and our everything. If you're in varsity, probably you expect your lecturer to tell you what to do and prepare you for that test. But at the end of the day, your life is in your hand. And God also gives you that free will. That's how, that just shows how our life is actually in our hands because he gives us that free will to do whatever we want to do. The decisions that we do each and every day, it's literally in your hands. And we want to go around blaming people and we blame God and we ask him, why me? Why this? Why that? But it's literally all in your own hands and you basically become what you think. So I had to change my perspective of how I thought. And I'm like, it's not about how hard you work. I'm not going to freaking work like a slave. Kanye West says slavery is a choice. I strongly believe in him. It is a choice. It goes back to what I was saying, that your life is in your hands. Yes, God controls it. He decides at the end of the day, but you have a say in it. God works with you. He doesn't work alone. He works with you. He's in it with you, fighting for you. He's not against you. He's not trying to go 10 steps forwards while you're going 10 steps backwards. He actually wants to do it with you. And I had to understand that because I felt like I was alone. I've always felt like I was alone. That entrepreneurship phase that you're alone in it. I still feel like that sometimes because a lot of people say that I'm this outgoing person, which I am, but there's those moments where I had to be alone to actually get to where I want to get to. And still today, I feel like there's some days I really need to be alone. Even tomorrow, I feel like I want to be alone. So to get to where you want to get to. So I just changed how I was doing things. And I did that. I did that for so long. And I love the journey, each and every moment of the journey, because you can never be at a point in your life where you cannot just appreciate what God puts you through. Even in the messiness, the darkness, you calling 200 people, being told, fuck you for a living. Imagine being told, go fuck off for a living.
Hectic.
That's hectic.
Yeah.
And people do that. There's people that go through that, but then their mindsets about it. Sales is a beautiful thing. You can literally determine how much you earn on a monthly basis because you have that skill to sell. And I always tell people, learn how to sell, learn how to market yourself, learn how to persuade, learn how to actually think, because we're so lazy to think as well. Think for yourself because we want other people to think for us all the time.
So for a person, there are many people like myself who have great products, great brands, great companies, but their strength is really not selling. What would you say to them?
Marketing, marketing basically rules the world. Some people call it propaganda. Some people call it the news.
It is.
All this negative stuff on the internet. That's what people say. All this negative stuff on the internet. Coca-Cola selling us drugs. Apparently there was Coke and Coca-Cola back in those days. And it was all in the internet. We all heard this on the internet. Elon Musk is crazy. Everything is literally on the internet. And I feel like companies that hold so much power, they know how to market themselves. People that hold so much power, they know how to market themselves. You get the greatest people in this world, and Oprah Winfrey, she knew how to market herself. She knew how to position herself and have the right people around her, connect with the right people around her, and that made her actually stand out. So for businesses that have the best products and everything, you can have the best product, you can have the best thing ever, you can have the best podcast, you can have the best whatever you building currently at the moment, but if you do not know how to put it to the market and market yourself in the market, because a lot of us, I do it too. Everything that I've said right now, guys, like it's something that I've lived and I am living proof of it. So I'm not speaking from, from something that I haven't experienced whatsoever. It's like we shy away. So what we do, a lot of us as Black people, right? Everybody actually, not just Black people, but most Black people, we shy away from putting ideas to the market. Right. So you have this cool idea, you have this cool product, you have this cool thing, but you shy away from actually taking it out there. You shy away from recording a TikTok video, talking about that idea. You shy away from just creating an Instagram reel, talking about it. I do it too. I do it on a daily. Every day I'm like, I have this content strategy and I want to do this and I want to release a YouTube video. And then I end up not doing it. And I think a lot of us are in that position where like you want to be releasing 5 pieces of content per day on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, and getting your idea across and getting your product or your business across. But it's just so challenging. It's hard. And one of the reasons that I had that challenge is because I was kind of scared of what people are going to say. Right?
Me too.
I still kind of have that thing sometimes where I'm like, oh my goodness, my mom is going to watch this. And what is she going to think of me? And it starts just, you basically scared about what your family and your friends are going to say. More than you even scared about strangers that don't even know. You're not even afraid of what the strangers are going to say, but you're scared about your own family and friends. What are they going to say? They're going to look at you funny. They're going to think you're going crazy. Posting 5 pieces of content on TikTok a day. They're going to tell you to throw away that phone or put your phone down. What are you doing with your life? Because it's a different path. It's a less conventional path. It's an unconventional path that not a lot of people are thriving to.
Yeah. We, as a family, my sister is 40.
Yeah.
And she started posting TikTok videos and she became like popular.
Wow. Listen to that.
Everyone in the family was just like, hey, get off Facebook. You're embarrassing us. I'm speaking money on TikTok.
Wow.
But like it was embarrassing. Even like kids are like, wow, please, like at school, you have to hide because your mom is making TikTok. But yeah, I want to get into you.
Okay. Nice. I love games.
5 questions.
Okay.
Jay-Z or Kanye West? Who are you choosing?
Kanye West.
All day. Put it here. All day. Wow.
Always. Why Kanye? He's a thought leader and he's he basically he's a genius, man. He's a genius, and I honestly believe that he's God sent. A lot of people will disagree with me and tell me otherwise, but I do believe that he was sent by God and he's about the truth and he'll do anything for the truth. He'll lose it all for the truth. He lost about freaking almost 800 million of his net worth and he literally was like, I don't care. I don't care. I'll look homeless if I want to. He literally looks homeless at the moment. And people are like, this is not Kanye. This is not the real Kanye. They changed Kanye.
What the real Kanye?
But he literally, God will take you, put you in a place where he will shift your entire life.
Yeah.
You lose it all. You lose it all. And just like that, you lose all the contracts, all the deals, everything just for the truth.
Yeah.
And the truth shall set you free.
True. Very true. Who would you rather spend a full day with? Who's the one person you're like, hey, I don't mind spending a full day with this person?
Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart. If I had to switch bodies with somebody, I'll switch with Kevin Hart. Yeah, he's so fun. He's so funny. Yeah, I love funny people. Funny. And he doesn't take life too serious. Even what he's doing with his life right now, like he basically became a comedian for goodness sake. I mean, who just wakes up and be like, I want to be a comedian, Especially growing up Black, your mom's gonna be like, "What comedian? Where are you crazy?" And he just shifted it around and he took it around and now he's building burger shops. Or for goodness sake, it's just crazy. I just love what he's doing. I don't know. He's just so cool. I just love him, and even the jokes he tells and the conversation he has, and he also has his own podcast that he just currently is doing, and it's absolutely amazing. He's mind blowing.
So cool. Okay, tell me, Who is the one person you've always wanted to meet, but got the opportunity to meet and you were disappointed? Don't say.
Who's one person that I've always wanted to meet? I got the opportunity to meet, and I realized that they were disappointed. And I was like, what? Okay, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one because everybody that I've always wanted to meet, they seem like really cool people. But who did I meet? I would say, AKA. I know R.I.P. AKA. I don't want to bring the dead back to life. Let the dead bury the dead. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but like, I love that guy. Like, I was like, he's so cool, you know. And then I actually chilled with him on his birthday, the weekend before he passed away, which was crazy. And he was just so arrogant. He was just giving some ego, arrogancy vibes. And I, like I said, I believe in being humble. Yes, he was chilling with, people and everything, but I was just like, yo, I'm trying to get a conversation. He was like, he just was like, who's this girl? Probably maybe I gave him that vibe of like, who's this? But anyways, like, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, turned off a little. But I still carried on supporting him. I was like, AKA worldwide. Because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to allow how he treated me to actually, make me think that he's a bad human being, because he wasn't a bad human being. Maybe I just caught him at the wrong time, wrong place. But I met him and I was like, ugh, he's not all bad.
Disclaimer, legacy. I did not say that. He did.
No, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
You can keep some. I love AKA.
Oh, Legacy now. Where are they your sponsors?
No. I wish. You can sponsor me.
Sponsor me, please.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Night in or night out?
That's a tricky one. I would say night out because, like, I get to meet people and I get to meet new people if I want to. But most of the time, night in. But like night out, I would go for it if I wanted to. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. What has been? I think it's actually one last question I'll ask you with quick 5 questions. Okay. Who's the one person you've always looked up to?
I've actually looked up to quite a few people. I've always felt like I needed a mentor in my life because you can't do it alone. You genuinely cannot do it alone. Like, even if you try to be like, I'm gonna be a solopreneur or a self-made millionaire, there's no such thing. You need people around you to back you up. You need bosses. And so I've inspired to quite a few people. But one person that I started aspiring to from a very young age, which was like 15, 16, was Grant Cardone.
Me too. To survive.
Sell or be sold.
No, 10x. Come on.
I'm telling you.
Come on.
I'm telling you, I was crazily obsessed about him. And at that point in my life, I felt like he was talking to me. I don't know if there's just those people that you're not supposed to be for everybody, There's a certain chapter in your life right now that somebody's not going to relate to it. Yeah. So if you're going to put YouTube content out and be like, people are not listening to my things, maybe you just haven't gotten the right people yet at that specific time. Maybe the right people will come. Maybe it's just not the right time. So I've never really taken it personal. But at that particular point in my life, I was 16, 17, trying to get decisions up in my life and trying to see where am I going to go study, where's my next chapter in life and so forth. And I stumbled across Grant Cardone and he just changed my perspective. And he was like, buy real estate. And I was like, yes, that's the first thing I'm going to
do. Yeah.
So, and like learn how to sell. Yes, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. So that's literally what
Someone called me and told me that there's typos in my book. It's a bestseller. So what is it? Best written? I was like, oh.
And he's funny. He's funny. He's funny. So I was like, yeah, this is the guy. And I try to just follow him and see what he's up to. But now I feel like right now, this chapter in my life, I look up to, I don't know if you guys know about Layla Homozy. I don't know if people know Layla Homozy. She's a wonderful woman, and her journey has been so crazy to a point where like, she's built an incredible big business.
Where is she based?
She's based in the States as well. Yeah.
Okay.
But you guys can check out and know more about her later.
Okay. Okay. What has been the biggest regret of your life? Something that you were like, okay, I shouldn't have done this. This was a mistake.
One of the biggest regrets I feel like I have is being very, very quick to earn rather than learn. Very quick to money rather than actually learning. And but I've always been a learner. You know, I've always been somebody who's curious about learning and everything. But I've always also been quick to speak, quick to make money, quick to do things. And some things you shouldn't do them rushed, you know. Patience is the best game, and patience and consistency. And you don't have to be 10 times consistent every single day, but just doing that, getting 1% better each and every single day. You know, so I think one of the biggest regrets is it's not one of the biggest, because I hate regrets. I don't want to be sitting on my deathbed at 17 be like, I regret everything. I don't. Even today, I don't want to be saying that I regret yesterday. That's why I try my best not to live in yesterday.
Okay.
Because yesterday can kill you. Tomorrow can also kill you. That's why I always tell myself, like, be anxious for nothing. Like, tomorrow has got you covered.
Yeah.
You know? Because we stress so much about what happened yesterday and what's going to happen tomorrow, but we don't sit down and understand what's here, what's in this moment. What can I do right now? What can I change right now? How can I be a better person right now? And it's easy. It's literally about what you do right now. What's your next move? When you get up here, are you going to drink water or are you going to drink alcohol? It's literally like that. It's literally those little decisions that you just make standing up, and you got to be in the moment to not have those regrets. Because I think that's the biggest thing in life. We have a lot of regrets because we can't be in the moment. We can't be here right now.
Come on.
Yeah.
Right now. Now, I heard someone say that life is 90% decisions, 10% action. I like what they were trying to communicate, but then again, they say 98% of all stats are false. But anyway, I agree with what you're saying. So my question for you is, when you look at your life and everything that's going on in your life right now, would you say that you are at a stage? I'm trying to find the best way.
Feels like online therapy.
Really?
Love it.
Would you say that when you look at your life and the state that you're in right now, would you say that there's something that a level that you've been wanting to reach, but you keep on hitting the ceiling and you're failing to break through that ceiling?
I think that's a lot of us. I feel like we all want to get to a certain destination and everything, right? And we just keep hitting that wall. You keep hitting that wall. You just keep sucking. So I heard this thing saying that you first have to, there's like 5 stages you have to go through to actually get to that point, right? So you have to get through the phase where you like really suck. Like you just suck at it. And that's a lot of us when we start something. You suck at it, you're going to crash, you're going to fail, but that fail is good. Keep failing, man.
Sure.
And then you're going to get to the next level, the next phase where you suck a little less, just a little less. You still suck though, but she's just sucking a little less. And you're going to get to the third stage where like, okay, cool. You're getting there. You're getting there, a little bit there. And then you're going to get to the fourth phase where like, okay, cool. Actually, I'm getting better. And then you're going to get to the the fifth phase where you're like really great now. You're excellent. You're actually killing the game. You on fire now. When it rains, it pours and it starts pouring, right? And so I would say I'm really at the fourth. I'm at the third, fourth phase where like you in between, not sucking that much, but actually sucking a little, but getting to that phase where you like breaking the wall, right? And I think it's when it comes to my business, right? So actually a whole lot of people don't know this. But I actually have my own agency, right? So it's a digital agency where I help clients acquire more clients. So it's a client acquisition agency, right? And a lot of people don't understand that it's a big problem that I'm solving, because what is one of the biggest concerns of a business? Lack of clients, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And that's one thing that has gotten me so depressed, so sad, so because I couldn't get a client. I was like, why can't I find a client? Why can't I, and I sucked at it. I was like, why can't I just close a deal? Why can't I? But I got to a point where like I sucked a little less and I sucked a little less and I pushed through that, right? So I think I'm at the fourth phase where it's like you getting there, you're still hitting the wall, you're still failing, but in due time, if you stick at it and become consistent and go in it, because anything that you're gonna stick to for 10 years, I believe you're bound to have success, guys. Like if you just stick to that one thing for like 10 years and you give it all you got and you work hard and you just freaking take 3 years out of your calendar, whatever, and you just be like, okay, I'm gonna put my head down and I'm gonna work. I feel like you're bound to have success. But if you're not willing to do that, then, and unfortunately right now, my point in life, I haven't gotten to that point where like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take freaking this whole 5 years and I'm just going to work hard and I'm going to give it all I got. And I think that's where things happen, things change. A lot of people actually know that I took some time out of social media, like a very long time. I'm still kind of like, I'm very reluctant to social media these days because social media can actually be it's a huge distraction. No matter what you tell me, like if you are not making money on Instagram, TikTok, and you're not creating and you're not being there to create and be the best version of yourself, mute everyone on TikTok and mute everyone on Instagram and delete TikTok. It's a waste of your time. Like, why are you on there? And I had to actually experience it to notice it, right? And I was like, no. This is getting to me. And I actually took some time off. Till now, I genuinely don't believe that I want to be on TikTok all the time, Instagram all the time. I'm literally only there to just reap knowledge, to just get some knowledge, to get some feedback. And there's obviously going to be a time in your life where you're like, okay, cool. You just need to talk about this. But there is going to be a time where you need to be quiet and silent and just working on your craft. And nobody should know about it. It's okay. It's okay to make those silent moves and do things privately on the side and not let the whole entire world know. It's okay because social media has painted this picture of you need to let people know. You need to, why aren't you posting? We can't even have food in peace these days. It's like the food, we must just vlog every single thing. So it gets so frustrating. It gets so tiring sometimes seeing this and people are just so depressed and comparing themselves. And I believe that comparison is the greatest killer of joy. Sure. Right? So if you're not really creating on TikTok and Instagram and you're not posting valuable content and getting people closer to where they want to be or whoever you're talking to, or you're not using it for your business or whatever, like just delete that thing.
What is the best advice you've received and the worst?
The worst advice, I'll start with the worst and we'll get to the best. So the worst advice I've actually received was, you too young, you will get there. So I always say it's the worst advice because like youth, I've heard, so I love spending time with older people. I love spending time with and not just older people like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, but like real older people. Like older people, like, you get your 70-year-olds, like, because they actually remind you of this journey of life.
Yeah.
You know, they can paint you a picture, right? They can paint your whole entire picture about how life goes and how life works if you spend time with them. And one thing that they've always told me is that youth goes by quick. Youth goes by quick to a point where like you need to wake up every morning and devour something. You need to give something your all. I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's hard figuring it out sometimes, but you need to. So I always tell people that the worst advice you can give somebody is that, no, you're young, relax. It's going to be okay. Of course it's going to be okay, but you need to devour something. You need to work hard because in a blink of an eye, youth just goes like that.
Just go. Yeah.
And the best advice I've ever received is that I believe one of the best advice is that you get what you think you deserve. So you don't get what you deserve, but you actually get what you think you deserve, because a lot of us be like, no, I deserved it. I deserved it. Like, I deserve this life. Like, I didn't amount to anything, but you get what you think you deserve. What do you think? What are you thinking right now about your life? Like, it goes back to the first thing I said is that you are what you think. And mainly I like to put my entire perspective around this specific say is that you are what you think, because you literally become what you think, and what you get in your life is mainly an outcome of what you were thinking. As corny as it sounds, maybe people will say that is so corny what Refentse is saying, but it is an outcome of what you were thinking yesterday or this morning. You probably don't even remember what you had for breakfast, but it was basically an outcome of what you thought last night.
Come on.
You couldn't wake up to go to the gym this morning. Like, I couldn't wake up to go to the gym this morning, but it was an outcome of what I thought last night. Last night I thought, nah, not today, not tomorrow. So it was basically just a thought. It became a thought first before it became an action. So, and your actions determines your life, right?
No, for sure. Has your family always been supportive of the journey that you took?
That's a tricky one. They've always been supportive. Like, I have this family where they like really believe in me, right? They absolutely, like, my dad believes in me so much.
This is the fourth time. I need to make it. If my daughter, who's not born yet, 5 years, does not talk about me in my attitude, she's not mine. She's not mine. Okay.
Like, he really believes in me. He's that one person that would be like, wow, look at you killing it out there.
Wow.
So it's always given me that sense of like, wow, okay. It's kind of built my self-esteem in a way, because I can walk in a room and feel confident in who I am, because like, I've gotten that growing up. A lot of people didn't get that, didn't get their parents building them up, didn't get their families building them up. So they walk into rooms and they're scared of what people are going to say or people are going to think. So I have a privilege of walking in a room and I can actually be confident in who I am and stand for what I believe in, because a lot of us, we shy away for what we believe in because growing up, you were told to shut up, you were told that you're not going to amount to anything in life. You were told that, what are you doing? This is never going to work, So we were given all these ideas and these thoughts that has been enjoyed in our minds already, that when we do get into rooms and careers and businesses, we don't actually, we're not confident in them because you never had that sternness. So I think the biggest gift is having a supportive structure around me. And I also believe that it doesn't have to be everyone.
Yeah.
Not everyone is going to support you and everybody's going to be there for you and everybody's going to buy your product or support your business. But it's those few people that be like, I believe in you. And believing in yourself, like self-belief is the best thing ever, because people can believe in you but you don't believe in yourself, and I feel like that's kind of disrespectful to the people because they believe that you're gonna win and you're like, what am I, So yeah.
Would you call yourself your family's Mona Lisa?
Huh?
Would you call yourself
Sorry.
a fabulous Mona Lisa?
Mona Lisa, what do you mean?
Like, Mona Lisa, the painting?
Yeah.
Like, say, this is the prime.
No, I'm actually, no. What? No, I've made, like, everybody made this decision and I was like, no, I'm not going to make this decision. Like, I always chose the total opposite. Like, everybody will be agreeing to something, and I'll just not agree. Like, I was that one person that everybody would be like, we hate Donald Trump. And I'm like, I love Donald Trump. I always choose the opposite thing.
What?
Trump.
Yes,
I
what?
love Trump. I love this one thing that he tried to do. He tried to bring the one thing that kind of shocked me. He tried to bring Christianity and religion and like talking about God and spiritual like meditation into schools. And he was kind of bombarded for that. And I was like, why did he even think about that, And I love him because like he's actually built a strong empire. His thoughts, I've read books on him. I've actually sometimes I feel like watching interviews, it feels like you've sat down with these people and you've actually had a conversation with them. That's why I love interviews.
So for me, it's different. Growing up, I had people that I looked up to. Donald Trump being one of them. I read all of Donald Trump's books.
Wow. And he's a genius, eh?
Like,
he's a genius.
I read his books, right? But I think as humans, we need to get to this point where we accept to say everyone has good and bad in them.
No, 100%. Everyone is struggling with demons, my guy. We're all struggling.
True. I take the good. The bad is there.
Yeah.
Like we have to acknowledge that the bad is there. But I take the good and the bad. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's the bad.
It's just the bad.
It's the bad.
Yeah.
And the bad is always going to be there. There's always going to be bad and darkness in the world. But but use light, man. Have some form of light around you. Like carry light around you.
So where I think I struggle and most humans struggle is then to separate the two. Okay, I like Donald Trump because of ABCD, because of his business acumen and all these things. Do I think that is going to be a great president? Then people struggle to differentiate the two and just want him there because of this that they love about it. But anyway, I love him. Yeah. So yeah, you were saying you're talking about what was the question? Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. So we're about to come to the end of the interview, conversation of interview. I want to ask you, in your business, firstly talk a bit about your podcast. Quit the Noise and
Be the Voice.
Be the Voice.
Yeah.
Why the title? Very interesting title. And yeah.
So with Quit the Noise and Be the Voice, so when I was doing all these things, like with Quit the Noise, I created when I was like, this was 2 years back, right? And right now I'm at a journey where like a lot has kind of changed. But with Quit the Noise and Be the Voice, it came from a point where like I've always felt like there was so much noise around me. Like everywhere I go, it's just noise. I'm also noisy. Everything is just so noisy around me. And I was like, we need a sound voice amongst all this noise. Like there needs to be somebody who's going to talk sense into people because there's not a lot of sense out here. Like people don't have common sense, They don't even have common sense. Yet alone do they have that knowledge that's going to get them somewhere, right? So with Quit the Noise and Be the Voice, it was from a vulnerable state. Hey, I was super vulnerable when I created that. Even my first few episodes, you can check them out. My first 5-6 episodes. Well, I think I took them down. Yeah. They were so vulnerable. I was so vulnerable. And this is a 19-year-old and 20-year-old speaking.
What are you talking about?
And so many people listen to it, and I was like, "What? No!" And when I do listen to them, and I'll see if they can still be out there. But anyways, so it was just about like the first episode. I remember recording my first episode. It was really about like nobody cares.
Wow.
Yeah, nobody cares. And I was like, guys, as soon as you realize you come to a point in life where you really see that nobody cares, that's when your mind starts shifting around because at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck. So, so I was at a vulnerable state and vulnerability is so amazing because that's when you actually see what you're capable of and you actually get a sense of self-awareness through that. And then later on, I interviewed a couple of people, which is like really close people, friends now. They became friends, and I did about four interviews. I did no, actually more interviews with people. Some of them are not even out there. I did like some, unrecorded stuff where I just chilled and sometimes it was just like a close thing. Like I just recorded with my friend, I just recorded with my sister. So I've always been creating. Like I've always been about creation. Like always be creating. Always be, as much as I'm creating as well. I've always been getting inspirations because sometimes you do things out of inspiration and out of desperation, right? But me, it was always inspiration. So quit the noise and be the voice. I just got inspired. It was just like I just woke up and I felt so inspired, and I was like, I'm gonna go after it and I'm gonna do it, and I'm still doing it. Right now, I just want to rebrand it and switch it up a bit. Hence, that's why like it's been so quiet because I've just been working on how I'm gonna switch it around because I'm at a different chapter right now in my life. So it's like you're at a certain chapter and it works, and right now things change, and then you gotta move around that. And I think that's where I'm currently at the moment, just shifting it around. Like, and there's more to come. There's more to come. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
So, the African giant Burna Boy just released a new album.
What?
The title is called I Told Them.
What?
I Told Them. So, 5 years from now, I want you to talk about yourself, what you're going to look like, so that people can refer back to this. And
That is crazy.
say, I told them.
What?
5 years ago.
What? That is crazy. I told them. I told them. You know what? You know what? You know what's why am I getting so like hyped up and excited? Because yesterday I wanted to write something on Twitter and I wanted to say, guys, don't be surprised one day when I tell you that this had to happen. Like it was everything I ever imagined.
Yeah.
And it basically goes back to that. Like don't be surprised. Like, don't be surprised. I think 5 years from now on, I actually wrote it down on my phone 5 years from now on. The other day, like, wow, I love taking walks, gym, therapeutic so much. So I literally wrote down and I was like, I want to have, obviously, there's so many things, right? But if I would have one thing, is basically to have, number one, a really solid, you know, not lucrative. I think that's the wrong word. Just looking for the right word, but sustainable and scaling and scalable business where I can be like, okay, I've changed and I've employed about, you know, 50 to 100 people. That's literally where I see myself, like 50 to 100 employees, like literally, especially in South Africa, while the unemployment rate is so high up. Second thing, what I would love to do is basically just help a lot of things in this world, such as, orphanage homes, shelters, as well as, it's not just the business side of things, but the business is going to obviously spiral because business is basically a tool for freedom, right? I always tell people that it's a business used for good. A lot of people, I mean, you get you get your biggest people like Bill Gates. If it wasn't for them, like they wouldn't. Oh, let's just take somebody that relates to me a little bit. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast just donated about 20,000 shoes to South Africans for kids who can't walk to school because they're actually barefoot, right? And these are the things that business and wealth comes with. And a lot of people, it's bigger than just money and business. It's all bigger than that. There's just so much change. You're not going to change the world, but you can change at least 500 people's lives. At least. You know what I mean? And you can at least change that one person's life. Like, yo, I had no job, I had nothing. And they started working for you and their life started shifting. You know, things are started shifting around. And those are the things that I want to see. I want to see people's lives change around me as much as my life. And these are the goals that I have 5 years from now. And it's not just, and also 5 years from now on, I also want to have a book. I actually wanna write a book, and I wanna have like
title yet?
I've actually written a book already.
Oh,
I just wanna rewrite it and republish and everything from over.
What is it on?
So the title was
Similar to the first 5 episodes of your podcast.
Yeah, it is. It is. I believe I'm a writer and a speaker by nature. I think those are the gifts that God has given me, and I think I should just like shift that around. Also, 5 years from now, and I really wanna really be a thought leader on YouTube, like where people can be like, this is she's an authority person in business and helping people in mindset change and you know in growth.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's good. I'm surprised I didn't hear I'm gonna be married, 5 kids, and very good.
I don't have the thing is like growing up, I never had such dreams. Like my dream was to actually own an orphanage. I've never had a thing of like, let's play dolly dolly and you have a baby and I have a baby. I was the one that said I don't have a baby.
What house?
The house.
Yeah.
I was the one that was like, guys, I don't have a baby. I have adopted 2 kids because I've always wanted to like have an orphanage and things like that. So yeah, I've always just been about doing the total opposite. While you are pregnant, I'm gonna be going to the store and buying a baby. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys.
But my dream is to adopt a Chinese kids.
Oh yeah, vibes.
It's a confusion.
Same, like you know, just coming Indian,
You know?
Indian roots. Like this is my baby. I'm Indian.
Yeah. So we've come to the end of the interview.
Wow.
Really love to have a long conversation. But any parting words, you can use that camera over there.
Yeah.
And just speak to the world. Tell the world what you want them to hear, what you want them to learn, what you want them to know about you.
So I'd say like I'll just literally just say 3 things. Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing being like self-belief and believing in God is so important. You know, not that I'm imposing in religion whatsoever, but like self-belief and believing in God is just like, even on my bio on Instagram, I'd be like, God first. You guys can follow me on Instagram, but that's not the point right now. But anyways, like believing in yourself is so incredible, because a lot of us, we go through life without really believing what we're capable of doing, of what we have, the gifts we have that God has given us, and also not really believing in God and going through life like not thinking that there is a God, because surely you sooner or later eventually realize that there is a God if you don't believe there isn't. But those are one of the biggest things that you can actually do for yourself. The second thing is believe that you actually are worthy enough and are worth it. And these are to all the ladies out there, like also as well, men too, like believe that you are that high valuable person. Like when you walk into a room, you can be of value, you can provide value, because people associate you with the value that you create, right? You're going to know me for the value that I came in and I spoke to you about. And it goes down to also reputation. Your reputation is everything. So it's about self-belief, putting God first, you know, believing that you're worth it and you're valuable, and also knowing that you have time, right? Because a lot of us, no, I don't have time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time for God. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to create my business. I don't have time. I don't have time. It's everybody talks about, even 15-year-olds these days talk about how they don't have time. And you do have time, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, I feel like you create time. There's enough time, you know, the sun keeps shining every single day. So are we going to go around even while the sun is shining and say that we don't have time? But the sun keeps shining each and every day. So create time for the things you love and do the things that you love, and you know, let it feel like play, so you don't feel like you don't have time. Because once you make it feel like it's play and you're enjoying it and you're loving what you're doing, then you're not going to be like, you're not going to make time for it, or you don't have time for it. You got to make time for the things you love, even if it's boring, even if it's whatever. I don't know what you consider as making time for yourself, but just like make that time. It will, you will literally like, you love yourself for that one day. Be like, oh, thank God I actually made time for that. Thank God I actually made time for that relationship. Thank God I actually made time for God. You know, thank God I actually made time for gym, because then after 5 years, you looking stunning, you looking beautiful, you looking gorgeous. So just make time for the things that you really value. And yeah, those are the 3 things that I really believe that just came out of my head right now. I didn't write that down anything.
Well, there you have it. She told you where she's going to be the next 5 years. And thank you very much for your time and for coming and dropping your value. Massive.
Wow. This is incredible. I love this.
Dropping massive value. I totally appreciate you. There you have it. Thank you for watching. Comments. Why are you guys not commenting it? Comments, like, subscribe, and hit the follow. Follow us, follow me, follow her. And thank you for watching. See you next week.
Thank you very much.
And that's all right.
That's a wrap.
Can you believe that we've been talking for 1 hour 30?
What? No, you gotta cut it.